Stellar Blade is one of the most hyped up game releases of 2024, and I genuinely believe it is going to be a Game of the Year contender. And now we're even hearing that Stellar Blade's demo hit 690,000 daily active users, almost double that of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, Stellar Blade has been the talk of the video gaming industry over the past couple of weeks, and recently we got the demo, which absolutely blew up in popularity. And because Stellar Blade is a new IP, it put a lot of potential eyes onto the game. Lots of people who maybe had only heard about it in passing on social media, saw the trailer and thought it looked decent, I'll wait till release. It brought in a lot of new people, and now we're finding out that not only is this demo going really well, but it exceeded expectations. This is a Game World Observer article. It says, Shift Up hasn't publicly disclosed the number of users who tried the demo, but we now know, according to analysts, the Stellar Blade demo that launched on March 29th peaked at 690,000 daily active users. This is much higher than the demo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which had a peak daily average user of 380,000. Now, obviously, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was an extremely well-liked game, and I am not trying to crap on it at all whatsoever. It was still pretty popular. We have heard that the sales numbers are not as strong as a lot of people expected. Like, this recently came out, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has sold around 2 million copies, the PlayStation 5 player data suggests, but these are not like confirmed numbers at all whatsoever. But even so, 2 million is still a feat. But when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it did face quite a few issues, right? Straight off the bat, it had a very long development cycle going. At this point, from what we're hearing, until 2028, until the third game in the trilogy comes out. That means 9 years of total development time for 3 games is a very, very long cycle. But we're also seeing, a lot of similar games releasing, just RPGs. Recently, there have been a wave of RPGs like Rise of the Ronin, we're getting Stellar Blade, Dragon's Dogma 2, and of course, there has been quite a bit of general bad press around Square Enix, and I think that, while that has affected the sales for sure, I don't think that we were ever looking at a game here that was going to sell like 20 to 25 million copies at launch. Obviously, when we're looking at these numbers, it definitely seems like with the demo specifically, a lot of people decided that they were going to test out Stellar Blade because it was a new IP. Like with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for instance, I personally didn't play the demo because I knew it was going to be a solid experience. I knew what to expect because we already got the first remake several years ago. We know that there is a certain level of quality there, but with Stellar Blade, I personally played the demo because I am so excited for it, and I think that people know what to expect from Final Fantasy remakes and just Final Fantasy as a franchise in totality. And with Stellar Blade, there are a lot of people who wanted to play the demo because they are maybe a little nervous about spending full price on a new IP, because we have seen so many new IPs fail. I mean, even look at Square Enix, for example, with Forspoken. If that had a demo, the even mediocre sales that it had would have been much lower because people would have played the demo and went, there is no way they deserve a full price tag for this game. And, I mean, let's be honest, Stellar Blade has been the talk of the video gaming industry over the past couple of months, especially the past few weeks with all the talk about Gamergate 2, and, this being the type of entertainment that people want to consume. Attractive fictional characters should not be a bad thing, and it should not be you know, something that developers actively stray away from. And, you know, people want new content. People are getting sick of reboots and remakes, and that is not what Stellar Blade is. And that is why we have seen these pre-order numbers skyrocket. And I do genuinely believe why the demo is being so played. I mean, I've talked about it in a couple of videos now, but bam, Stellar Blade has been going #1 worldwide. It is the #1 in pre-orders in the UK, Japan, Romania, Korea, Germany, China, India, Switzerland, Finland. I mean, everybody is seemingly very excited for this game, except for, of course, the sensitive snowflakes who think, oh my gosh, you know, they just put sexual objects in this game. They only view the women in this game as sexual objects, which is completely and utterly absurd. Shift Up is clearly a group of very talented and also very passionate people who simply decided to go in this direction and put these designs in the game because it's what they wanted to view. I mean, even the director had said, we decided to create, you know, the extremely beautiful Eve and Taki and even Adam because we want to see the unrealistic. We do not want to see the average. And I think that is something that a lot of people at this point can agree with, that you want to play a video game and you want to see something extremely beautiful, and that should not be a bad thing. And with Stellar Blade, it just seems with every single move Shift Up has made, it has been the correct decision. Yes, I know they had delayed the game several times, and a lot of people honestly worried that it was never going to come out at all. But now that we have the release date in just a few weeks, we're very close to release, plus all of the teasers and trailers and the demo, it seems that that confidence level has been boosted, that so many people are feeling confident in this product and are super excited for it. And honestly, it's great to see the demo do really well because so many people were skeptical about Stellar Blade and what it was going to be, and if it was just going to be basically a giant bait and switch where they show all these beautiful characters and then of course Sony tampers with it and the end product is not at all what they had promoted the whole time. But that is definitely not the case, and it seems that there's just so much hype surrounding Stellar Blade right now. It could end up as a Game of the Year contender. Now, it could end up being overlooked by organizations like the Game Awards, like what happened to Hogwarts Legacy last year. Only time will tell. I genuinely hope that that doesn't happen. But, I mean, as you can see, the Stellar Blade demo had peaked for daily active users at almost double that of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And we are talking about another game that is definitely going to be a lot of people's Game of the Year, a game that had an extremely massive amount of hype behind it. And I do think that these two are, towards the end of the year, going to be going head to head for Game of the Year for a lot of people. But it's great to see Stellar Blade already being so successful, #1 pre-orders in so many regions, the demo hitting insane daily active player numbers, and it will of course be interesting to see how initial launch goes over in just 2 weeks, but I think that it is going to go over very well. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.